Hi, Marianne Croce here from Small Biz Vantage and creator of 3 Day Weekend System. We had a little bit of a delay here. We had some technical issues and I had no sound. So this week it's take two of Auto Shop Success in 15 minutes. Sorry for the delay, but life happens, work happens, but we still go on. That's my way of thinking. We still get it done. So I do these lives each and every week. And it's a chance to go a little bit deeper from a weekly email that I send out. And I do them for a couple of reasons. The first reason is for you to be able to shift the way you look at your business. I find that a lot of auto shop owners are so caught up in the day to day that they don't have that 30,000 foot view of their business. So to take 15 minutes a week is really a good thing. It's actually a competitive advantage for you. The second reason that I do these weekly lives is for you to take one action item away each and every week. The magic is in the doing. You can listen to me, you could read a book, you could listen to a podcast. I mean, listen to someone else. It doesn't matter. What you want to do is apply something from it, apply a takeaway. So each and every week I give you that because that's really when you get your results. It doesn't take massive changes, but small changes will actually cause a ripple effect in your business. A common question I get asked often is, Marianne, who do you work with? And I work with single location auto shop owners. They come to me because they feel like they're consumed by their business. They're going 24/7 and they've had some milestones, some successes, but what they really want to do now is they want to have a life as well. So, and they don't want to sacrifice their business and they want to go about doing just that. So, this week's topic, if you find it valuable, please share it with another shop owner, a manager, a leader, because I find that this is such a giving group, very supportive of one another. So, the topic this week is if your auto shop feels heavy, right? I didn't want you to miss this. So, here's the thing what I find in most cases is if your team feels frustrated, scattered, or resistant, it might not be a people problem. A lot of owners will come to me and say they have people problems in their business. But what I find is, and that could create the shop feeling very, very heavy. What I find is really it's what really is happening is owner indecision creates the friction in a shop. And I want to talk about that today because that can make your shop feel very, very heavy. Most owners think that team friction comes from attitude, effort, or people problems. But really, what I see most often is it comes from indecision at the top. So think about that for a moment. It's not bad leadership and it's not a lack of care. There's plenty of owners that I knew that I know that care tremendously about their business, about their customers. It's unfinished decisions. So I want to explain what that actually looks like in the everyday, right? When we think about that, teams don't struggle with change, right? I just probably dropped a bomb there, right? Because when we think about it, people will say all the time, I hate change. Change is so frustrating, whether you're an owner, whether you're a team member in a shop, whether you have a leadership role or not. People don't like change, but it's not the change itself. What they really struggle with is uncertainty, because that's what change means to a lot of people. They're very uncertain. So, owner indecision sounds like this. I'm still thinking about it. Let's wait and see. You want to roll something new out? You're not sure, right? Let's wait and see. We'll circle back to this. You don't know how it's going to work. Maybe somebody makes a suggestion and that's what you end up saying. And I don't want to make the wrong call. They don't want it to go wrong. So that's what's happening. That's the reality of what's happening. So when you say those things out loud, here's what the team hears instead. The rules might change. What I do today may be wrong tomorrow. Why take ownership if direction keeps shifting, keeps changing all the time? So this is where friction starts. Your technicians will hesitate. Advisors will default to old habits. Managers stop pushing for improvements. And everyone protects themselves instead of the goal. Can anybody relate to that? Whether you're live or, you're on the replay, can anyone relate to that? Because I know I could. I'm a shop owner myself since 1999. And these were some of the things that would show up in my shop over the years. It's something that I could definitely relate to. So let me know. So here's the cost. It's actually a hidden cost of this indecision. Most owners are thinking, I'm being cautious, right? They care about their business and they're being cautious. But the reality is you're forcing your team to operate without guardrails. So indecision creates these micro conflicts. Something like, well, that's not what you said last week. Inconsistent execution, right? You're not really executing, doing the things that you said you were going to do. Quiet disengagement. People become disengaged. And owners become the bottleneck again, which means everything has to go through them. So this isn't just frustrating for a team. It also is frustrating for the owner as well. So we have a truth here, a hard truth, a reality, right? Speed builds trust more than perfection. I want to say that again. Speed builds trust more than perfection. A clear decision people can align around beats a better decision that never lands. We never implement it. We never do anything about it. You can always go back and say to your team, let's review what worked and what didn't work. Let's tweak it. Let's figure it out. Let's put our heads together. I want to get input from everyone. So that is a big, big, big change when you look at it from that perspective. Is this relatable? Let me know in the chat. So here's what happens. This is where you elevate from decider to direction setter. That's a shift. Owners don't need to have all the answers. They need to provide direction and constraints. So try this instead. When you think about this, here's the decision for the next 30 days. Or this is our current standard until proven otherwise. Or if this doesn't work, we will improve it, but we're going to move forward. This does three things. It reduces the friction, it builds team confidence, and it removes the owner from the constant clarification mode, having to explain yourself over and over again. So each week I leave you with an action item. This is simple and practical. This week's action is write down one decision that you've been avoiding. We all have one decision that we've been avoiding. Thank you, Brad. You're here. Thanks for being helpful and telling me my sound didn't work. I appreciate it. See what I mean? Good people in the industry. So what you're going to do is you're going to ask What is the smallest, clear version of this decision that I can make right now? Think about that. Communicate it with a time frame, not forever language. So an example, for the next 30 days, this is how we're going to handle X, and then we'll review it. Okay, so there's no debate there. This is how we're going to handle it. You've made a decision. But they also know that their input is going to be valuable over the next 30 days. And lastly, I leave you with a pro thinking tip. This is a way that you kind of change your perspective. Indecision doesn't keep options open. It keeps people stuck. Strong teams aren't built on perfect calls every time. They're built on clear ones. We want to give people clarity so that they feel confident. They know what's expected. So that's it for this week's Auto Shop Success in 15 minutes. We did a take 2. I'm glad you're here. And if you are on the replay, watching this on the replay, any kind of comments or questions that you have, I'll be happy to answer them. So have an enjoyable week. Thanks for being here.